Hey everyone, this is GeoWill with Productions², and I'm here today to do the behind the scenes video for the Mass Effect 1 review. I mentioned I was going to do this, and originally I thought I was going to blow it off originally, but since we're already working on it, I figured why not. Oh, by the way, just kind of little advertising here, the Darkness 2. If you like the Darkness 1, you should get the Darkness 2. Darkness 2 is awesome. Albeit a little bit short, but awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual review here, though. Yeah, this is really our long-ass review. 2 hours, 11 minutes, almost 2 hours, 12 minutes long. All these spots here indicate massive amounts of cuts. If I zoom in here, you can see somebody we're talking about here. These are mostly from me cutting out spaces where I go but and all the different empty spaces I leave when I'm talking, just to kind of move things along. But there are some that are legitimate cuts where I have cut out something and re-recorded it, or made it shorter, or did something with it that I had to change it. So as you can see, we have a lot of different things up here in the video bar. I've actually got different sections. There is some video in here, so you can see.
The Reapers can't be stopped, not by the Protheans, not by...
And I've got video in several places, mostly in the gameplay section now. There is some, though, later on, I think. Yeah, over here. Just one, though, I think, for a later part, but most of the most of the footage is in the gameplay section. But yeah, this took me about, I'm gonna say, 3.5 weeks to put together this entire thing, and to get it edited and ready to render out to After Effects. Key point here is that I just rendered the video section in After Effects. I'm going to render that out and then put it back in over, delete all this stuff out and put it back in over top of it. And then render it out through here just to make sure it's done properly, or rather not, maybe not done properly, but of a good quality. And here's the After Effects project. I'm fairly new to After Effects. Literally, I just started using it a couple weeks ago, so I'm not too familiar with it just yet. But familiar enough to do what I want to do with it. But anyway, let's see, back this out a bit. I've already done some editing here, as you can see. All these different masks. Got all the effects here too. Essentially what all this stuff is doing is for, let's see, where is it? Zoom in here so you can see. It's for things like explaining where I have specific areas that I want you to focus in on. I also do a little animating of the masks too. See if I can find a space where it happens at here. It's back here a ways somewhere. Yeah, there. Or I just kind of animate the different specific areas through a stroke on the mask, just to kind of call your attention to those areas of the screen. But this was the first area that I worked on a lot. I've also done a section where I've added in this image in as well, over top of what was already there. Because I had a better image of the Krogan that I wanted to use but I had forgotten to put it into the, here it is, I forgot to put it into the actual video. For example, let me pull that up over here. I'd used this one originally, image that I'd found online. Then as I was playing through recording the walkthrough, I saw this image and decided to pull it off the footage from YouTube. This is actually a YouTube capture from pausing the video and just screen capturing with fraps. But I faded out the original video, faded this one in, so that it would cover over the original section and also mimic the fade that we had. And here's another section where we have, don't ignore these two things here. This is part of the masks for this section. Let's see if I can show you here. All the masks are not showing. There we go. See, these are all the masks for this layer that I have so far. This one's for the background, so I could fade it out and in as necessary. And then all this stuff here, this is for this section. These are for the beginning section. And then these two are for the inventory section I'm working on right now. But I'm just basically creating masks to bring up specific areas and highlight them while the background is faded out. Just again to better emphasize the areas I'm talking about. And I'm also syncing this to the actual dialogue from the review. Obviously, have to do it that way. That adds a whole nother level of complexity and annoyingness to the whole process, because you have to go back and forth between the two programs to make sure all the frames match up as far as when stuff's supposed to happen. After Effects is interesting now. It's really easy to work with. There seems to be a slight memory leak issue though, because every once in a while I'll come out of here and find that, you know, 13, 15 gigabytes of my RAM's been used and it's all being eaten up by After Effects. So I think there is a RAM issue. I can't post about it on Adobe's forums, don't ask though, because for some reason it doesn't like to let me access the forums after I've logged in. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but after trying to get onto them for 15-20 minutes, I decided to give up and just get back to work. So I also have to do my final today. Of course, the final for my class is going to be pretty easy. It's only a 10 to 12 page paper, supposed to be writing. I've already written most of it. Just need to put things together and oops. Sync it all up. But no, the recording, I think I mentioned it a couple times, maybe at least once, in the actual video. I actually had to record this walkthrough several times, the audio for it. Actually, I think it was like 5 or 6 times, just because I couldn't get, it wasn't exactly the way that I wanted it to be. Then even after that, I ended up going back through and adding stuff back in. You know, taking stuff out and re-recording it just to make it better. And to also add stuff I had missed, so It's a really involved process. Let's see, let's go ahead and actually minimize these. Don't need those right now. And I'm going to rename these. Let's see, so inventory. I guess we'll say weapon info left. So you will want to set these on 0 first of all, so they're not bleeding over into other areas like you saw earlier. If we go back over to that section now, you can see that that area is not highlighted anymore. Come back over here wherever we were at. I have a specific time that we need to be looking at here. Let's see. And here you can see that we have the inventory system. This is for Tally's inventory. At the top of the, here you can see a cut where it probably made a little too deep of a cut in the pause I had going there. So right about here, 36, 59, 10. So we're going to want to put the fades in it. So 30, or no wait, 39, 56, 10 I think I said. $36.59. Alright, so what we're going to do now is actually change these to being keyframed, and we're just going to set it to something and back to 0 so that we can get the marks in there, even though it's not really necessary to do that. I do that anyway just because it's a habit. A good habit in my opinion, just to make sure that the initial state of the layer is set. You have to do that in prototype title whenever you're doing text and stuff that fades in and out or has other animated stuff. You have to make sure you move it up and back down to set that 0 position, otherwise it'll go all the way through. And you have to do that after you on After Effects, after you turn it to keyframed as well. So if I went ahead and went to a spot and decide, okay, here's where I'm going to fade it out, if I don't go back a little bit and set it to 100 again, it's going to fade out through the entire thing instead of just that one little spot. Let's see. Inventory. At the top of the screen, you'll see the two highlighted sections. Yeah. At the screen, you'll see the two highlighted sections. You'll see the two highlighted. Let's see, at top of the screen. The screen, you'll see. So I'm going to go from 37 then. We'll actually modify this a bit. Let's go ahead and unkeyframe these. And move to 37. When you unkeyframe them, or on time scale them, or whatever it's called in After Effects, or time vary, it'll actually remove all the different time markers you already have in there, so you have to be careful with that. So we're at 37, so I'm going to go ahead and go back and time mark them again. And we're just going to, with the screen, you'll see the two. Go forward a bit, so 37:01:13. Let's actually shorten. Let's just go to 37:20. And move these. No, well, I don't know. I tried to keep at least a maximum of the 20-second fade, so that looks most natural. Any longer than that, it starts taking too long. Any shorter, and it looks a little too rushed, if you will. So, hang it. We'll Well, actually, that's not exactly in the right place, is it? Oh, that's interesting. 37, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is odd. Huh. That's interesting. We actually can't see those two, that frame, or the first one. That's very strange. I guess we'll start on 2 then. That's a little too much. Now let's go ahead of us at 31. What was it? We're 31, 370113. So 370113 or 38. Oh no, it's 370113. So 3700. I guess 23. 370023. Again, make opacity 0 for those two. Then we will advance ahead to 0113. So that'll fade them in, and then we'll go around and based on the on what I'm speaking about down here, we'll actually add more masks around each of these objects within the within those areas that I highlighted, and those will all be color coded. And actually, so will the actual highlight section will be as well. Let's move that out of the way here. What time is it? About 3:30. So alright. So, 2 highlighted sections right now. The left side, or rather left side box, is for the currently equipped weapon, and the right side is for the one that you have selected down below in the item selection section in the middle. Inside of these boxes you have the item name. So the item name, the company that produced the weapon or whatever it is that you're. So actually, the weapon name and the production name are going to be in the same highlighted space. Let's put my watch on backwards. Or rather upside down, I guess, would be a better explanation for that. Okay, there we go. Let's see, so I want to go with, you have the item name. Alright, so right here probably could be a good starting point. So 371707. So we got a 371707 on the timeline here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to make the mask for this. So, zoom in a little bit further so I can see everything pretty clearly here. Just want to kind of square it off. Doesn't have to be perfect because you can come back through and edit it. And actually what I'll also do is I'll go through and do these other ones as well. And we can just fix them up once we get to specific spots. The reason I'm going so far out here is because there's actually usually a third one. Or not usually, but sometimes there's a third one of these. So just emphasizing that that space is used sometimes. And also we'll get the details section here. On each side. Alright, this probably looks like a total mess. Actually, I know it does. But let's go ahead and fix it up a bit here. Just kind of pull things in, and damn, hate when it does that. Looks a little bit better. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with this now. Straighten things up and make it look a little bit better. One thing interesting I found out about these different user interfaces is that they're actually not exactly the same. If you look at them closely, for instance, it's more apparent on the control panel. Both sides are not exactly the same. For instance, the move command icon on the ally command panels between the left and the right side are not the same. One is differently proportioned, which I found interesting. Had to deal with that when I was doing the stroke mask for that one. So it looks a little bit better now than it was before. And this side looks like the other one did, like a piece of crap. So let's fix this side up too. Let's see. It's really kind of tedious work, really. Fixing really small things so that they look appropriate. I'm not even going to try to make it look like the other side. Normally what I would do is I'd copy it over, but since it did them all by hand, I might as well just leave them as they are instead of having to delete them and remake them. Or rather, delete them, copy, and then move them over and get them resituated. Just easier this way. And if it does look a little bit off, I don't mind if something looks a little bit off, as long as it's not totally insanely out of whack. So that's really all there is to editing for this in After Effects. So, oops, forgot to do the details button on the other side as well. Let's actually move that out a bit more. Get a bit more space around it here. Alright, we'll fix this one up too. Alright. So now we have the section done here. Just kind of see how the methodology goes there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to rename all these sections, just so that I can tell them apart. So let's see, this is going to be end of item name left. Env item, I'll say inventory slots left. Inventory env item details. Now we'll say info left. And then env item details left. Or never mind, now it's going to be env item name right. Env item detail, I guess we'll do details instead of detail, and right. And we'll do the same with the left one. Item details left. Alright, so now we got all that hashed out there. We can start by expanding all of these. And since we're not actually going to be using these to show anything, since we're already doing that with these larger ones, we're actually going to set all the opacities to 0, and if you don't, here's what happens. Let's see. Let's go back a bit. You end up with this kind of looking thing here because the masks apply to the layer no matter what. So if you don't either fade them out or set the opacity to 0 at at the onset, they're going to show up like this on anywhere where the background is faded out. So it's necessary to make sure the opacity is at 0. Get those out of the way just to make sure I don't have to accidentally get those. Again, you're not actually highlighting anything with the actual opacity like you are with the outer ones. That's already highlighted. So all this is going to be doing is using the stroke to indicate the section that I'm talking about. And that's how this will work. I'll turn that off. Let's go back over to Effect Controls. And Layer Effects, let's see, Generate Stroke. I'm actually going to copy this a couple of times. Or a lot of times, technically. Let's go ahead and minimize them all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually we'll only need 8. Well, no, we'll need one more because we do have the outside edges of these as well. So we do have 10. I'll move that down to be in the right place there. So stroke, inventory. What did I say? Weapon info. Left, whoops. Right. Alright, so the initial strokes are always going to be yellow. It's my default color for that, so I'm just going to copy that yellow there. And we're going to set it to the particular mask that we want it to be on. For the moment, we can just go ahead now and minimize that out. Or, I mean, not minimize it, but another thing I found interesting is that you can take any color, even from the user interface. Try to see if I can get a orange color here. Yeah, see, there's that kind of a color there. Orange. Doesn't have to be only that one. Yellow color. I gotta reset it. Alright, so now we just set it to that one and set this to the right side. Weapon info right. Alright, now we have our two sections highlighted. Now, what we need to do is figure out when those are. Yeah, so there. Let's see. Go back a second. Inventory. At the top of inventory. At the top of the screen, you'll see the two highlighted sections right. I believe we were at 37. Was it 07? I can't remember now. 3726. Yeah, it must have been right there. Okay, so now what we want to do is enable the opacity settings here. on these two, and then we want to set those to 0. Then we want to go forward to our spot here and set them to 100 so that they fade in with the mask highlight. And then what I'm going to do, just going to do this right now instead of waiting a little bit longer here. We're going to go forward a little bit, just a little bit, and enable the start and end ones as well. That'll be for the effect down here. Then what we want to do is just go forward, not too far, a little bit over a minute, or a little bit over a second though. And we want to take start up to 100. And that'll, as you see, that will progress that through from where it was to how you see it now. Then from there, we want to continue forward a little bit. Maybe just like a frame or so. Let's go 2 frames. And then we want to again reset the end line start at a certain at 100 at that specific area. Then we want to go forward. Looks about right. And take end down to 0 so that we, as you see, we make it go back. Then I'll create the effect that we're highlighting through, or that there's like a pulse or whatever going through. I only do that once though, just because you don't want to have too much movement distracting from everything else going on. Now we want to go back to let's have a quick look here. Yes, they're up to 9 being used. Check After Effects using 3.5 gigabytes of RAM. Actually, several. That's interesting. We have several of these open actually. That's weird. So I'll save this real quick. Doesn't seem to have done anything negative to it. Well, now it's lagging, but so I was trying to move it too fast through. That is very odd, though. Alright, so now we go back here. At the top of the screen, you'll see the two highlighted sections right now. The left side, or rather left side box, is for the currently equipped weapon, and the right side is for the one that you have selected down below in the item selection section in the middle. Inside of these boxes, you have the item name, the company that produced the weapon or whatever it is, that item name. You have the inside of these boxes. So probably want to start about right here. I can get right about there. So that's 371600. We'll type that into the thing here. 371600. This is where we want to bring in the highlights for the next two strokes here. So stroke, inventory, item name left, and stroke, inventory, item name right. Expand those. Item name left. And inventory item name right. There we go. Alright, so now I've written down the different colors that are supposed to be used. Let's see, where is that specific? Let's see, highlight equipped section boxes, highlight item name, production company name in green. Name and logo, I guess. Oh, so I actually did do the logos too. Wow. Well, we gotta fix that then. So info, name. And so you can modify masks by just selecting the pen tool and selecting the mask you want to alter. So we want to add 2 more onto here. Well, no. Yeah, 2 more for this side though. Oops. Then we want to move those over, so actually let's move that. Let's do this. I don't know what that's about. Let's go ahead and move these. Damn it. At the same time, so we can keep the alright, and then we'll just take this one, move it down, take this side, move it down, and then straighten this up. And there you have it. That's how you can just edit those on the fly. We'll do the same thing over here. Select those points, move them over. then add some new ones to here. Alright, easy as that. So now we've got our highlighted sections there, we need to turn them green. So, I could go look for a green thing in here somewhere. I could do that. Or I could go back up here, let's see, I think it's move, and just copy that green color so that there's some continuity between the color scheme. Then again, we just copy that one off of this one, and there you have it. Let's see. The mod slots are supposed to be red. So S inventory. But I got thrown all the way back to the beginning. 37, 16, 00. And again, even these strokes as well will be have the opacity keyframed as well. So stroke S inventory slots left, stroke and slots right. Now I'll go ahead and check those, or put those onto the proper masks. And find the attack section up here. Where are you? There you are. So that's where our red color is going to be at. Then the damage, I guess they're called attributes, it's going to be in purple. So minimize those. Stroke, inventory, item info, and right. So I'm going to go up and find the power section. That's going to be our purple color. And details left. Oops, item info, not a mistake. Alright, and do the same thing here. Item info right, and there are those now. Finally, the detail section, that's going to be in light blue. So I'm using enter to edit these names, in case you're wondering. Inventory, item details. S in item details right. And we want the CP section here. It's going to be our light blue color. Oops, details left. And details right. So if I scroll back out here, you can see now that the white over here is gone. All those white sections are gone now. They're sitting over there before. Alright, so the next section is going to be this bottom one here. And we're actually going to fade all this stuff out first. So we need to be able to fade it in as well. So we need to figure out the timelines for all this stuff. Again, the only what's this one? Oh, that's that one we don't need. One little spot I added. Again, the only ones that are actually fading in and out as far as the masks are concerned are the initial highlights. So those are the only ones we'll have to fade out with the masks. Everything else is going to be faded out through the effects. So let's go ahead and start figuring this stuff out. So by the end, so we're going to fade it out all at once. We need to find out where the end of this stuff is at. It could be armor or omni, or rather we need to figure out the beginning, or rather left side box. So inside of these boxes you have 1600, that's right. We're actually sitting on the frame that we want. That's going to be, though, for the name and, oops, title box. That's also a good way to get the RAM usage up, is to do the hardware pre-render. That eats up RAM like crazy for some reason. But we want to go to, let's minimize that, and this one, to the names. Name strokes here, and go ahead and turn opacity on, and that'll initially when you first turn on it makes a time mark on here, so you don't have to worry about that, I believe. At least it should. Yeah, there, right there. So now we just need to go find out how far. Actually, let's move these to 0. And skip ahead a couple frames, 1620, and then put them back up to 100 opacity. Inside of these boxes you have the item name, the the company that produced the weapon or whatever it is that you're looking at. It could be armor or Omni tool or something like that. Then you have the company logo next to the modification slots. To the next to the next to the. So we started right here. The modification slots. The modification. Let's see, F5, so we'll go for 20, that's going to be 15. So 37, 30, 15 will be where we will start fading this one in. So 37, 30, 15. Alright, and now what I'm going to do with this, go down to the slot sections, and just like before, turn them on, set them to 0 opacity. Then go forward 20 frames to 3105, and put them back at 100. Slots. And there can be 2 weapon modification slots, but I've never seen 2 ammunition modification slots. And the ammo modification slots are always on the right side, and the weapon modification slots are to the left of that. In this, for this item, there's only 1 weapon modification slot, but if there were 2, there'd be 2 empty slots, with the ammo modification slot being to the farthest right possible in that window. On the left. Underneath those are the stats for the weapons. Alright, and after all that rambling I did, stats. So we'll start in 380408 with those. 380408. And that'll go to 380428. Once we get there, let's go and minimize those, bring up these sections, enable opacity down to 0, switch to 28, and put it back at 100, and you have your fades. And then we need to do the same for details. The stats for the weapons, and this is pretty much how all the weapons and other items are divided. As far as the stats go, there's only 3 stats for each item. For weapons, it's damage, shots before the weapon overheats, and the accuracy of the weapon. For armor, it's
I could have gone
damage
through
protection.
Could have gone through and also subdivided that weapons thing, but that was going to get a little too complicated.
Item. For weapons, it's damage, damage protection as well. For the and there's also grenades, which I think are locked into the Omni Tool section as well. Now at the bottom of those two windows, you have the details button.
All right, here's details.
The details.
So I'm going to do 385007. D07. Alright, we'll go ahead and minimize those, bring up details, sections, and yep, you guessed it, turn on opacity, set to 0. Just kind of working on this kind of stuff is kind of a exercise in mediocrity, if you will. You just keep repeating the same things over and over again at different spots in the video to get the effects that you want. This is actually pretty simple compared to the benchmarks video I made a couple of days ago. That one we actually had to make
the details button.
Actually, no, we just want to go 20 frames in front of that. Actually, I had to make the animated bar graphs in XSI, and then export those. Exports a compilation of the animation into here, and then
actually isolate each different bar from itself in a different animation. So we would I copied and pasted it for each bar, and then just painted out all the other bars except for one and the shadow and the reflections for that bar as I was animating. And then I tied all that together with the text on the faces of those boxes, and used some expression coding to link it all together so that it would everything would lower and raise at the same time, and the text would change as well. It's pretty complex. This is just really not complex, but takes a long time to finish. So we've got all the different fade ins and outs done here. So now we need to figure out when we're going to fade everything out, so we can start doing that. Have the details button, which will allow you to read more about the weapon that's either currently selected or currently equipped. And I'm not sure if the weapon descriptions change between weapon levels. Like, for instance, I'm not sure if the description for the Tsunami 3 is different than the description for the Tsunami 4. I never checked that out, so a little homework assignment for you if you want to do so. See if there's a difference. Underneath those windows is the actual place where all the items will be located at. Alright, so right about here is where I want to start. Underneath those windows is... Alright, so... you if you want to do so. Start there actually, because I want to use that to fade in the highlight for that. So 39, 20, 29. So we're going to start fading out everything. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fade out all this stuff first, then the outer one. So it'll be a tiered process, but they'll be going in tandem. So this will start, then this will start fading out, and this will start, and then just after this ends, the fade out on that section will end as well. So we'll just have a muted kind of background image. So 20, 30, 39, 20, 29. Go to there. 39, 20, 29. Alright, and now what we want to do is we want to set everything that has a opacity that fluctuates. We want to just create that 100 section there again. So we did it for this, so we gotta do it for all these now. There's only one off, not going to worry about it. We don't want to do these ones yet though. Next, we want to, if you go down you can actually see all the, well, it should be there somewhere. Hidden away, I guess. Now, we want to go ahead by, let's say, 2106, let's say. And we want to start fading these out as well. With these ones, though, we're also going to do the layers themselves. Add those too. So that'll be on 26. No. Yeah. So 19 and 26. So we go to 19. And that's when we'll start fading out all the rest of this stuff. Down to 0. Then we'll go to 26. And that's where we will fade this out. And also fade out these. So we're left with just the basic screen there. Then we'll go ahead and highlight this. I'm not going to go do a whole video of this, me doing this. I'm just doing it for this one section so you can see the amount of work that's going into it. Hopefully I'll have this ready by Wednesday. This is really, there's only really a few more big sections to deal with. This is the only last, this is the last section that's going to have this much stuff going on. The other ones are going to be just highlighting different dialogue options. But this one and the one before are the only ones where we have tons of stuff going on. So now I want to create some new masks. Go ahead and minimize all those, make sure we have this selected. Turn on the mask thing here. And we want to create new mask. So let's go ahead and highlight this. Again, doesn't have to be exact. You can fix the way it looks after you get the entire mask made. So getting it exactly right is not as important in the initial creation of said mask. Alright, and now we can go ahead and fine tune it. Some of these are actually pretty good positioned, in pretty good positions already, so we'll just slightly edit them. Now I'll go straight up, so all I have to do is modify that a bit, and then bring this up a bit. Up and over, actually, technically. Okay, and there we have that. So now for this section, well, we are actually going to have other stuff too, so we'll go ahead and make those masks as well. Just get ahead of the game. Let's see. I'm actually going to conform this one a bit more to the that'll play out when we go back and fix it. That one's already pretty well off. That's going to move this one all the way down. Alright. Then we will add the next one. Hopefully I won't have to do too much fixing on this one. Looks like it's going to be pretty smooth. Then this bottom section as well. That one is going to need a little bit of fixing now. Alright, so that'll do it for that section. And man, that looks messy as hell, but whatever. Let's see, so now what we want to do is, first of all, rename all these masks. So, call this one inventory. I don't know what to call this one really. I guess inventory menu. And inventory selection. Oh, that's that top part. Inventory selection. Select tabs. Oops. Cancel. Then inventory. That's what's called items, and then the bottom part, inventory buttons. So the first thing I'm going to do is on these three, just turn the opacity down to 0. On this one we want to take it down to 0 and turn it into a keyframe thing. Then we need to figure out when we want to bring it in for you if you want to do so. See if there's a difference. Underneath those windows is the actual... Damn. There's a difference. Underneath those windows is the actual... Underneath those windows is the actual place where all the... So 39, 25, 24. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take that off, and 39, 25, 24. That's where I want to start it here. The opacity being 0. 20 frames ahead. She'll put us at 14 of 26. We will go up to 100 with that. Alright. This is the actual place where all the items will be located at, which is in the middle. Along the top of that window. So, along the top of that 39, 30, 29. 39, 30, 29. Alright, and that's where I'm going to start with the selection tab. Again, though, those aren't going to be used for anything, so I need to make some more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back through and edit the names here. So and finally buttons. So actually we need to go back a second here. To do the stroke for that. So 0, that's good. Menu, we need to do the, where is it? Weapon info left. Alright, and opacity set. Alrighty. Reinitialize it right there, instead of at the places it was at, and then move forward here to there, or we're going to do the 100 on opacity now. Go forward a bit, and also enable these, and we'll go forward . Then should have been at 0 anyway. Damn. I had to come back down here a second. Let's
see. So that should have been 100, and then we use this to go back around with that. Okay, so no, that was right then. Oh well. Then go forward a bit. Actually, wait, that should be 100, 100 there. That's back over here a ways. This should be at 0. Let's turn this off a second here. Oh, that's why. Duh. Alright, now once we get to here, one frame ahead, set N to 100, then go forward a bit again. Estimating it about, and put this down to 0, so redraws it. Okay. So now we need to figure out when we want to start fading this other stuff in. So along the top of that window, that's right, that would be the 39, 30, 29. That'd be that time. 39, 30, 29. So that's going to be for the select tab, and that color is going to be orange. Or never mind, that's item selection. The icons are red. So that would be the slots, I think, for the red one here. Yeah. Item select tabs. Okay. I'm going to go forward by 20 frames, so 19 of 31. Okay. Next is going to be the middle part, which we said was going to be orange. First we got to find it on the timeline here. Along the top of that window, that should be highlighted now, you see a kind of like an icon bar
thing going across. Those are the different weapon tabs, if you will. Currently selected is the assault rifle tab, denoted by the name next to that. From left to right, they are assault rifles, shotguns, pistols, sniper rifles, biotic amps, slash grenades, and the armor. Each one of those icons brings up a new window, like you see, the one you see for assault rifles, where it will list all the different. Ah, crap! Should have hit return. Or any mods on the weapon that you are replacing. Window, like you see, the one you see for assault rifles, where each one of those icons brings up a new window, like. Alright, so 4110. Right. So 400110. That's where we're going to start fading in the items one here. Do I have an orange one already done? It's a good question. I have no clue if I do or not. I've got yellow, but orange, I don't think I do. Let's see, so find an orange looking color here. Items, and start the opacity going off here. 20 seconds, so it'll be 200. Be at full there. And then the bottom section here will be purple. First, gotta figure out a new window, like allows you to equip the weapon you have to. Right here. It'll ask you if you want to move those mods onto the weapon that you're using to replace the currently equipped weapon with. Hopefully, you're able to follow that. But it's actually a pretty nice feature, so you don't have to manually do it yourself. But if you do unequip a weapon that has mods on it and you don't move them to the next weapon, just be aware that those mods stay on that weapon, and you might even sell those mods if you sell the weapon. I'm not sure if they automatically unequip or not. You can also equip a weapon by double-clicking on it in the list, so using the equip button, and the Omnigel button will allow you to turn. So using the equip button and the this will start there with 40, 59, 17. Alright, opacity 0 and 20 frames. So 0.7 of 4100. It's going to have max opacity on that for the buttons. Alright. Now, so using the equip button and to Omnigel. Underneath that box. Okay, so right about Omnigel. So right here, probably, so we'll start fading stuff out. So 410628. 410628. Now, what we want to do is, same as we did before, set everything to back up to 100 for the first few here. Then move this ahead 20 frames to put us at 18 of 7. And take them down to 0. Go back 20 frames to 6. Well, let's leave it at 7 and go 707. Opacity 100. The same thing for the mask as well, and forward by 20 frames to 27, where we will completely dump that. Alright, and we're on to the next to last part, I think, which is this bottom resources panel here. No fancy highlighting, we're just going to highlight the resources panel, then fade it out, and then highlight this section and fade it out for the last part. So I'm going to go ahead, let's put us at 0810, and we'll go ahead and do the mask. Alright, let's go ahead and modify the mask now. Make it conform a bit better to the object here. Get things a little straightened up. Like I said, it's really an annoying part of it. It's just all the time you take to work on this stuff. This takes forever. That's interesting. I should go a little bit lower in order to account for that section there. Alright, bring this over, line it up with the outer edge there. Bring this down and over. Over and up. And up and to the left of it. Alright, there's that section. We're just going to call this one inventory resources. And from where it's at, so actually we're going to start fading it in from. Pretty sure it's the same color we want. Actually, it's a little bit brighter. One of I guess a dark mustard kind of color. Again, opacity keyframed and down to 0, and then we'll go ahead 20 frames to 900 and fade that in all the way. So how much time? Underneath that box is the resources section. That lists the number of medigel you have, the number of grenades. Alright, we have enough time. We'll also do the thing going around on it as well. We'll go ahead and move a few forward here. And go to here. Go forward a bit. Bring start all the way up. Move one frame over, it's 12. Then try and eyeball the space. About that looks good, I think. And bring n down to 0. Okay, and then we need to figure out where we're going to fade it out. Aids the amount of omnigel you have, and how many credits you have. Aids. Just to the right of that is the back button to go back to the main menu, which is also accomplished by the escape button, and to the left of all. Okay, so we'll start fading out from here, and then we'll fade in here, do the loop thing there, and then fade it out by the time we end the this section. So, let's see, 412600. We're at 5 gigs being used. 412600. That's right, 412600. So then we want to put that there, then 20 seconds. And fade out. Then we want to go ahead and make the next mask real quick. And this one I'm just going to do a box for it. So we're going to try and go all the way around Tally's outline. It's easier just to do a box of it. Alright, and we'll name this one Tally. Let's go ahead and throw it down to 0 opacity. Move forward a bit. Actually, let's figure out, which is also accomplished by the escape button, and to the left. Escape button, and to the left. Escape button, and to the escape button, and to the. Starting here at 412818.
So I want to bring it in. Control D. Tally. Stroke tally. And set to the tally mask. And then go ahead 20 frames to 2908 and bring the opacity all the way up on both. So now a couple frames over, and let's go ahead and forgot to actually turn on opacity there. Actually, I turned it off. Damn. Have to reset this one as well. Alright, so then we come back over here, and we can start these ones up. And bring end all the way up. Or no, wait. Leave it down. Back to the beginning. Take start down. One frame forward. Then eyeball it for another second about. And take end all the way down. Alright, so I want to fade this out, and to the left of all that is the character image along with the character selection buttons. Alright, so starting from 41, 34, 25. And we will do the opacity. $20 seconds. 35, 15. And down to 0 opacity. And we will also minimize that now. Go back up to the background mask and open it a little bit, back down 25. Then go 20 more frames to 05 of 6. And bring that back up to full. So let's go ahead and see how that looks. That whole section we just did there. Alright, so start from here. Let's see, 36, I should write this down here. 36, 37, 13. It's the start and the end.
is 41, 47, 24. Actually going to render out that one little specific area there. Save it here. Composition, render, add to render queue. Let me go and delete that one. And we want to go to base settings and custom. That's where you can put in your positions here. Then the end. Alright, and render. So just gotta wait for it to finish rendering it. So while it's doing that, that was fast. Go ahead and throw it into Vegas here. Oh damn, it didn't render out correctly, that's why. Just gonna pause the video real quick here. Alright, I said to pause the video while I rendered it out, because I think perhaps was for some reason causing it not to render properly. And then it was going to take 20 minutes to finish. So it's done rendering, and we can go ahead and figure out how it looks now. So I'm just going to open this up. I had to close it because After Effects was taking up all my RAM. Literally, I only had about 1.2 gigabytes of RAM left, which is insane. That's why that's another reason I think there's a friggin' memory leak or something. Program should never take up that much RAM. 15.8 gigabytes of RAM? I don't think so. It's just ridiculous. I guess not all of that's being used by it, but very large portion. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw this into here. Test 3. And we shall have a look. So yeah, that's all the time spent in this video was just to do 5 minutes and 10 seconds worth of video. Let's go ahead and set it to preview. Let's set to preview, and we'll go full screen. I forgot it doesn't record. Well, maybe it does record. I'm not sure. It doesn't have the icon up there, so I guess we'll just pull it out and extend this up here. Damn it. There we go. Okay. And here we go. Let's see what it looks like. Interesting. It's a little too fast on those, but I can live with it. I didn't have a particular method, if you will, or that's comes up that part particular way of doing those, just whatever felt correct, so those are going to be really the same. Well, so far so good. Of course, my long-winded explanation about how the friggin' slots worked. Eventually getting on to the other information. I probably could have gone around with the edges here along with it that way. I think it looks fine the way it is. It's not too over the top. Not too blind either with that little edge cut off there. Then for the details buttons. Should be coming up here pretty soon. Or maybe not. Those were blue if I'm not mistaken. Should be, yeah, there we go. Obvious when they come up. Alright, and then all that should be gone away pretty soon. See how it looks fading there. Since I went into the whole discussion about how if I didn't know if the details were different between the different weapon levels, there we go. That was pretty much at the exact same time, there wasn't that much of a difference. Well, again, a little fast, but as long as it's pretty much the same for each segment, individual segment, to the speed of the other ones in that segment, should be fine. Like, you don't want to have a really slow one, then a really fast one. Well, that's interesting, the red one didn't show up. I'll have to go in there and fix that. That's kind of odd. Why is it fading out for? Well, we got a few things to fix with that. And there you have it. That's how long it took to make that little short segment of the review. I hope you found it interesting, even if it was a little bit boring sometimes watching me just work on that stuff. But it's been an interesting process making this review. Certainly will be a help for making reviews in the future a little bit faster though. But tomorrow, if this is uploaded on Wednesday, September the 5th, tomorrow, which is Thursday the 6th of September, we'll be uploading the announce some videos for COD2 and Xenosaga, and those will probably be, I'll probably be starting uploading on those either next Monday, so I recorded this on Monday the 3rd, or the following Monday after that, the 17th. That'll probably be the 10th though. So thanks for watching. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, or to like the video or subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.